Parlay Pals back on track.
Are we the Parlay Pals or the Parlay Boys? I've been going with
Parlay
boys
boys.
now.
Yeah,
I
gotta
feel
be
like
boys,
Juliana
right?
dubbed
Update that
us. We
graphic.
have
All
to go.
All right. I'm down.
Update what graphic, Frank?
I don't know.
Parlay Boys, baby.
All right, am I randomizing this thing or what?
Yeah.
Let's do it. How?
Felt like that took a little bit
Every
longer.
time.
Yeah, what is going on with this?
Every time.
Frank, Ariel, Connor,
fine.
Rick.
We're good.
Frank. So you got UFC,
There's a lot
and
to choose from.
there's really just UFC, right?
That's it, yeah. Apex card. Nothing for BKFC so far.
I mean,
Do they usually put? I feel like have I asked you this?
So I think in some states right now it's on DraftKings, but it won't be available to us in New York.
All right, so I guess it's UFC, bro.
UFC it is.
UFC.
I think I'm gonna put my money in a Swiss bank account and go with Stephanie Egger money line.
Wow,
Nice.
was that your best selection yet? I like that. Swiss bank account, Stephanie Eggers from Switzerland.
Oh, that's good. A little research.
Yeah.
I'm going with okay, so Stephanie Egger, by the way, is
Minus 285.
minus 285. I just saw it. Where is it? Minus 28. Where did she go? Oh, there it is. Against Irina
Pile of papers is pretty
Alexieva,
wiped
plus
up.
240. I'm going with Adolfo Vieira, minus 250 over
Okay.
Cody Brundage, plus 200 straight up.
I'm seeing minus 230, which is a nice play by you. Back to Irina Alexieva,
Yes.
nicknamed the Russian Ronda.
Wow.
Russian Ronda.
Yeah, tough to bet against. I am going to head to the alternate totals page, where you'll typically find me. Main event, Ricky Simone, Song Yadong, over 1.5, minus 350. Gets us to plus 149. Over to you, Rick.
Yeah, I had two here that I liked. The Ricky and Song Yadong over 1.5 was the one. So we're going with the other one. We're going with Quinlan Waters does not go the distance.
Yes, nice.
Damn. I feel like we just rolled right through that.
I was gonna say, I think that was our fastest parlay pals to date.
Cha-ching.
I love it. And what do we end up at?
I'm trying to figure that out right now. We're still waiting for Quinlan Waters. Fight doesn't go to a decision to hit it, but I'm gonna guess it's gonna be like a minus 400 range.
Wow.
So that's gonna get us to. Yeah, don't mind me, guys. Just doing the math here. Like a plus 211. We'll be over plus 200 for sure.
Nice.
All right. I like that.
I can live with that too.
All right. What about the rest of your picks?
Yeah. Trying to stay light this week. Tricky card.
Yeah, it's a tough one. This is a trap card, if you ask me. Stay light. Stay light.
I agree. I think staying light is the name of the game with this one. We will head to the Swiss bank herself, as Frank just mentioned, Stephanie Egger. I will be taking her inside the distance against Irina Alexieva. I don't fully understand this matchmaking. Alexieva has fought one time in the last 3 years, and that was in Bellator, where she won a very close decision. She's only 4-1. She's making her UFC debut. I mean, her first 3 wins were against sub 500 featherweights. Now she went down to flyweight, fought an 8-6 flyweight, lost there to Lilia Kazak. Actually went back and watched that full fight. She was in some really bad positions, flattened out in the first round, had a rear naked choke sunk in on her for the last 25 seconds of the fight. Don't know how she survived it. Regardless, Egger comes out looking for finishes. 7 of her 8 professional wins. All of her wins in the UFC have come by finish. I think she's going to get another one here. I like this at plus money since she's such a huge favorite this weekend instead of playing her straight. Next up, if you've been following flyweight unders, which we've been having a continued success in 2023 with, this is going to test the fate. This is going to test the fate of the flyweight unders gospel. Charles Johnson, 3 of his 4 have gone to a decision in the UFC. Cody Durden, 3 of his 6 have gone to a decision. Not the most prolific finishers, though. in prior promotions, Charles Johnson does have a ton of knockouts. And I guess if we want to get numbers-wise, they have 10 UFC fights combined between them. 4 of them have ended in the first round. So there's definitely a possibility, but I would not be surprised if this one goes to a decision. But we're trusting in the flyweight unders to get it done. I am also playing a point spread for our guy from Atlanta, Cody Durden, plus 3.5. I think he can win one round. If you don't know what point spreads are, you add up the 3 judges' scorecards at the end. So, like, if he lost 29-28 across all 3, he loses by 1 because you're 1-1-1. He loses by 3 total, so he covers that spread. I think he can win one round here. I think this is going to be a very close fight. Charles Johnson, 8 of his fights have gone to a decisions. 4 of them ended by split. He typically fights close, and obviously if Cody Durden gets a finish, that also covers. And for the first time, actually this is the second week, but DraftKings Sportsbook now has point spreads.
Whoa.
One of the first mainstream books that I've seen have it. And like they've set up the 6-pack on their display now, sort of like an NFL game or an NBA game where you see money line, total, point spread. So I think this is pretty cool, actually. I mean,
Wow.
the first book I've seen that's done that. I think it's huge for the MMA betting space. This isn't me, like, I know they're a sponsor of the show, but like this is legitimately a cool thing that they're doing. I think it's a really cool addition. Shout out to my guy John over at DraftKings who made this happen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait,
They
you know
used to
the
be
actual you know the actual guy who made this happen?
I had a lengthy discussion with him, John McGrath, last week, and he kind of teased this, and he like threw the idea out, and I was like, I think this would be a fantastic addition. And yeah, he hit me up today and was like, we made it happen. It's done. We now have the 6-pack.
Have we reached a point where DraftKings is like asking for your advice on things? Because I feel like, I mean, that's
we had a really nice discussion.
pretty big baller move right there.
I mean, I'm not going to put anything in anyone's mouth, but we had a really nice
What is
discussion.
going on here?
It was scheduled for 30 minutes. We went an hour. I mean, we had a great
Wow.
back and forth.
Are they
yeah.
enjoying the Parlay Boys? Was that the
All right.
impetus?
It actually came up. They were like, we love the Parlay Boys. We just have a tough time getting it on the site when it's like a 4-legged, like plus 110. And I was like, I get it. He was like, we're happy to put it on, but like we just can't sell like a 4-legged, like plus 110. But if you guys get it above like plus 200, which we did this week, we're more than happy to put it on the site. He was like, we got the logo and everything ready to go.
Wow. That's
Cool
incredible.
addition.
That was a very rare type of bet back in the day.
Yes.
Usually only like certain main events and things like that. That's very cool.
Yeah, and they're like going to have it for like every fight now. Unfortunately, not in New York, but they will have it in New Jersey. The New York regulators are very strict. Either way, let's continue here. Short notice for Trey Waters here. He just fought 2 weeks ago. If you're like, man, I recognize Trey Waters' name, it's because, yes, he went viral 2 weeks ago by winning the vacant LFA welterweight title with a huge knockout. I went back and watched that fight. Wasn't really doing a ton. He was pretty inactive throughout the fight. He was definitely losing moments. He got rocked at one point. Eye started swelling up, black eye. He's also huge for the welterweight division. He comes in at 6'5". Now he's got to cut weight twice in the span of 3 weeks, and he's getting a test in a big-time power puncher in Josh Quinlan. Fresh UFC experience. I'm going to favor him. I will also take a little sprinkle on his knockout prop as well. A lot to ask for Trey Waters here. It would be, I mean, you talk about a month of April for this guy. If he can win the vacant LFA welterweight championship and then step in on 6 days' notice against a guy like Josh Quinlan and win that fight as well, because there is a chance. He's got bricks in his hands too that he knocks Josh Quinlan out. I mean, you're talking about probably the best month of this dude's life. So if he does win, I would be happy to see that. But I'm going to side with Josh Quinlan in this one. And then to the main event, super close fight. Glad we're still getting this one. Glad it didn't get canceled or anything like that. It was supposed to be the co-main last week. Ricky Simone, Song Yadong. It's so close. Is the wrestling going to work for Ricky? Is Song going to find the power? I couldn't decide on a side. As you know, similar to last week, if you found a success with the total, I'm going with the total again. This time I will be taking the over 2.5 minus 150. Kind of dicey. 13 of their 22 fights have gone over this number, so 9 of them have not gotten there. Obviously, they do have finishing capabilities, but they're also tough, man. I know Simone got knocked out by Uriah Faber, who's one of Song's coaches and teammates. do whatever you want with that information. But it's not like he's chinny. Like he is a super tough dude. Like he does have durability. And same with Song. I mean, the only reason that Sandhagen fight even ended was because of how bad that cut was. I think this one is going to be super close. I think they're both going to have success. Ricky with the wrestling, Song on the feet. It'll be back and forth. And I honestly think it probably goes to decision, but I like this number at -150. So that's what I'll be going with in the main event. Then just one parlay, 2 legs. Co-main Kyle Barajo back this week. I think it's a favorable matchup for him. Oleksiejczuk, he's got huge power, just not a great ground game, and that's where Kyle thrives. Hopefully he can finally get a submission. Feels like I bet him by sub every single time, and it always fails. And then Brundage Vieira, under 2.5. Brundage, aggressive fighter. Vieira, incredible ground game. I don't see that one going the distance, so I got that at -131. And that is UFC Apex 72.
By the way, Co-main Kaio, is that something you came up with? That's a good name. I like that.
I wish I did. It was actually Jed. 4 straight co-main events for the guy, and then prior to the UFC, he had 4 more co-main events. Like the guy lives in the co-main spot.
Oh, wow. I like that. Shout out to Jed.